Howdy guys, welcome to week 8 of business updates. Now I took last week off because I ended up uploading a journey of my history of selling on Amazon and doing e-commerce. And man, that was a really fun walk down memory lane. As I was reflecting on my journey in the last video, it made me really appreciate the process, and it made me really think about how I got started with wholesale. You know, the journey from $0 to $1,000 in sales per day with wholesale is pretty difficult. It can be a little bit challenging, but I've actually found that growing from 1,000 per day to 3,000 per day in wholesale is actually pretty easy. And I think the reason why is because so much of the difficult work is the learning process of how to actually do wholesale. You need to build the foundational groundwork. You need to build out operating procedures. You need to figure out a pitch script that works for you in speaking to brands and suppliers. But once you have that foundational groundwork already built out, it becomes a lot easier to scale and grow from there. And that's definitely where I find myself today. Now, obviously, there's additional growing pains as you get even bigger, and I think I'm beginning to experience some of that right now. And that leads me to transitioning to talking about my next topic, where I have successfully hired a warehouse associate, and he has been coming to the warehouse 2 times a week and helping me prep products for outbound shipment, getting them ready for Amazon FBA. Now, he started 2 weeks ago, and so this week would be his second full week of working. And so far, things have been just okay. I don't know if I'm super thrilled with his quality of work, but he definitely is helping me get through the massive load of products that I have coming into the warehouse that I so desperately need to get out and get ready for the holidays. We're doing about 500 to 700 units per day of prep, and he's kind of managing all of that during the 2 days a week that he comes to the warehouse. I realized that I need to get my operating procedures down to a T in order to make his job easier and to make his job seamless. And I've been having difficulty taking the product list that needs to get prepped from my VA to translating that into a shipping list of the products that need to get shipped, how they need to be prepped, if there's any polybagging or bubble wrapping needed, if they need FNSKU labels, and if they're case pack products, and most importantly, like what these products look like. I've been having a hard time trying to translate that into a simple spreadsheet for the new warehouse associate to look at and then to become autonomous in how he preps these products for outbound shipment. So if you guys have any good suggestions on how to kind of make that process work easier, I'm all ears. Now that I've hired a warehouse associate, I feel like I can breathe a bit more just because a lot of the manual labor has been taken off my plate. And I'm trying to do this thing where I'm working less hours now. I've been in pretty solid grind mode for the past year, working about 10 to 14 hours per day. And it's caught up to me to a place where I'm kind of exhausted now and I don't have as much energy as I used to have. This week was pretty great from a workload perspective. I got to end work at around 4 to 5 o'clock almost every single day, with the exception of yesterday. And I just feel so much better now that I have regular 8-hour work days. I guess that makes me think about the whole point of being an entrepreneur is that yes, entrepreneurship does require the grind of long, grueling work days, but one of the rewards of entrepreneurship is the ability to hire labor and then to decrease the amount of hours that you yourself work. And I feel like I'm finally starting to begin to reap the benefits of that right now with this warehouse associate and then also my virtual assistant in Asia. One of the things I've been working on this week is continually prepping for Q4 seasonal Christmas products that we prepared for about a few months ago. Now, we identified the products that we wanted to buy late summer, maybe the beginning of August, And then we place the POs to buy these seasonal Christmas products on September 1st. And to my surprise, September 1st is actually too late to order Christmas products for Q4. I contacted some of the sales reps from the companies whose products we're trying to purchase, and they said that they have customers who are submitting POs for Christmas products all the way in February of that same year. This is definitely something that I wasn't expecting, and a point of learning for me and my VA that we need to prepare for Q4 a lot earlier than we did this year. And that kind of sucks because I felt like we did such a good job preparing for Q4 this year. I felt like we worked really hard in forecasting demand and purchasing products ahead of time. Then to find out that it actually wasn't early enough and that we should have ordered products even earlier. But this is a great learning experience, and we're gonna do a better job next year. The products that we purchased for Christmas sales have come to our warehouse this week, and so there's a ton of products that need preparation for outbound shipment, and those will all be out of the warehouse by tomorrow evening. And then once those products are out of the warehouse, we've essentially done all of the work that we needed to do for our Christmas seasonal items for this year, which is awesome to think about. Outside of products and logistics, one of the things that I've also been working on a lot over the past few weeks is getting credit terms with my suppliers. I have 3 suppliers now that I have credit terms with, which is massive. Okay, so in this game of Amazon with arbitrage and wholesale, I know that there's a lot of content around, oh, let me find this 0 APR credit card and then put all my inventory on that so I don't have to pay off the credit card for like the first 12 months. Oh, and then let me open up a second 0 APR credit card and then I can transfer the balance over to that new credit card so that I don't have to pay off this balance for actually 2 years now. And then people are constantly opening up new 0 APR credit cards to spend beyond their limits. And I think that that's totally fine if that fits your business model and what you're trying to do. But for me, I've been a little bit more cautious with just opening up credit cards willy-nilly. The main credit card that I do use for inventory purchases is the American Express Plum card, and that allows me to have 60 days to pay off credit card statements instead of 30 days, which is huge for the inventory turnover cycle. Let me just paint this timeline into perspective for you. When you place a PO with a vendor, it might take a week to receive the product, and then if you ship out the products to Amazon FBA immediately, it might take FBA maybe 2 weeks for them to check in your products. And then after those 2 weeks are over, it might take you another month to sell through that inventory. So that collectively is 7 weeks. But the inventory that you put on your credit card is due in 4 weeks. So there's a discrepancy of 3 weeks there. So if you're putting your inventory on a credit card, you have 30 days to pay off inventory that will take you 9 weeks to recoup the cost of. But if you have payment terms, let's say net 30 payment terms, and you use the Amex Plum card, that gives you a 60-day billing cycle. That's a total of 90 days. And that gives you ample time to have fully sold through your inventory to recoup the cash to then pay off the credit card statement. And that is a huge benefit, and that's not spoken about enough. And that's something that I've never done before. When I got started with wholesale, I've always been the kind of person who wanted to prepay for inventory just so I can speed up how fast the account opening process is. And that just leaves myself open to fewer questions about my business model. But as I've gotten more comfortable in the space and built stronger relationships with my suppliers, these net 30 and net 60 payment terms have been so valuable in my ability to scale and taken a lot of pressure off of just loading up credit cards with debt. And I think that's a really great thing that I wish I did before. And maybe if you guys haven't started doing that yet with your own suppliers, it's something that I would highly recommend that you guys look into. So as of right now, I have 3 vendors and suppliers on payment terms. The rest, I'm going to try my best to transition. It definitely becomes easier once you already have credit with existing suppliers Typically, a credit application would ask you for other references, maybe 3 references of other suppliers on who you have credit with. And if you don't have any, it kind of makes filling out those forms impossible. But somehow, some way, I've been able to get credit terms with already 3 suppliers, and then I can use those suppliers as the reference for all the future credit applications, which is going to be massive for me. All right, that's pretty much everything that I've been working on with my company for the past few weeks. Now, looking on to some Amazon industry updates. This week, I only have one thing for you guys, and that's a pretty big one. And this is that Amazon is going to be giving FBA fee discounts for business price products when the business customer purchases more than 1 unit. Now, this is massive. Business customers tend to bulk purchase anyway, which means that Amazon is just giving you a pretty big FBA fee discount per unit on these bulk purchases. Now, I'll leave a link below on what the fees look like, and you can also see them over here on the screen. But these fees are pretty substantial and would definitely help you guys add more margin into your products. If you guys do not already have business pricing enabled on all of your listings, definitely do that and do it now. Business pricing is a quick way to just increase your revenue for business customers who are already buying these products. And all you need to do is just kind of flip on a switch and enter a business price to enable this. And now they're giving you FBA discounts as well. That's obviously a no-brainer and something that you guys should definitely be actioning to increase your margins. All right, that's pretty much it for me this week, guys. I hope you guys are having a great week and stay killing it. I'll see you guys next time.